Can I be punished just for my intentions? So we understand that the Prophet ﷺ has been reported to have said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive my ummah for whatever crosses their mind, so long as they don't act upon it or speak about it. So understanding this, no, we cannot be punished just for our thoughts, our intentions. The condition being as long as we don't act upon it or speak about it. Now what does this mean? The scholars have said that if a person has an intention, a thought to commit a sin, and they use whatever means they have to try and carry out that sin, even if they don't carry out that sin in the end, they have acted upon it and they are sinful. And actually, we have an example of this in the Qur'an, in Surah Al-Qalam, where a group of brothers, they inherited a garden from their father, who used to give a fixed portion of that garden to the poor. But the brothers, they schemed together. They said, our father was not wise, he gave to the poor. We will have more profits if we don't give to the poor. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He tested these people when it came to a day before the harvest to pick the fruits. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِذْ أَقْسَمُوا لَيَسْرِمُنَّهَا مُصْبِحِينَ, when they swore amongst themselves that they will surely go early in the morning to pick the fruit. Early in the morning before the poor people show up. وَلَا يَسْتَثْنُونَ, and they were not willing to leave any portion for the poor. They were planning to cut everything. So what happened at night whilst they were sleeping? فَطَافَ عَلَيْهَا طَائِفٌ مِّن رَبِّكَ وَهُمْ نَائِمُونَ, a visitation, a punishment came upon their garden while they were sleeping. So this destroyed the garden completely, leaving it barren land. And when they woke up in the morning, they had no idea what happened. So they were still planning, still talking about this, whilst they were walking arrogantly towards their farm, still having bad intentions towards the poor. But when they got there, they couldn't even recognize their garden. And we know that these people were Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that they repented for their sin. So what was their sin? Intending to withhold from the poor, and then acting upon it, talking about it, planning. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stopped them in their tracks and punished them. And in fact, there are so many lessons that we can learn from this event. One of them, that in having this punishment in the dunya, they were saved from the greater punishment in the akhirah, and they repented. So maybe sometimes when we are facing some kind of difficulty or problem, we should think about repenting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking for forgiveness for the sins that we are committing. And by the way, a side note here, as soon as these people realized what had happened to their garden, the best amongst them, he said, أَلَمْ أَكُلْ لَكُمْ لَوْلَا تُصَبِّحُونَ, didn't I used to tell you, why don't you make tasbih, glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be grateful to Him, be thankful to Him for the blessings He has given you. Meaning the dhikr, the glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we do is so important in preventing us from acting upon our bad, our evil intentions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to continually glorify Him, and may we not act upon or talk about our bad, our evil intentions. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.